Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to our power Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kodash. Call Halalim na Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kodash. That's in the ancient Hebrew, to all praises to Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly call Jehovah, God, or Yahweh, and His Son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai, who the world ignorantly call Jesus Christ, Yeshua, or Yeshua. The true name for the God of the Bible in the Hebrew is Yahweh, and His Son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai. I want to give the honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the brothers and more, they are pushing His word in sincerity and in truth. To them that believe, shalom. This lesson largely may entitled what is love, and largely going forward, we'll do some, like back to the basics, because this is some simple things where the common person, get misunderstood, what is love, right? Because even in these times, Scripture say, one to them that basically turn things upside down. The common person believe that love, is this whole mushy emotions, right? But the Scripture have a clear guideline of what love really is. Not saying come with affections, but basically love fall in regards to without that mushy feeling, right? So the first precept I have on deck here is Romans chapter 13 and we start at verse 8. It says, "Owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is the fulfilling of the law." Right, so if you love your neighbor, you will keep the laws them with him. Right, so now basically commit adultery, basically having sex with his wife. So I care about that. And your neighbor is basically the fellow Israelite man, or fellow Israelite. Because we lie to your neighbor, we thief from him, you go basically murder your neighbor and all those things. And that not nothing to do with necessarily feelings. But even you see a random Israelite on the streets, and you see something like say money drop out of your pocket, take it for yourself. Say, "Yo brother, you see me your funds drop." Right? That common courtesy, and that means you have no emotions to him. It's a random stranger, you don't really know him. But that's you executing love and not thieving from your neighbor. Alright? That's why Yahushai, he said this. I'm going to go to the book of Matthew 22. Verse 35. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, and saying, "Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" Yahushua said unto him, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets." So we looking out for the brother, right? Keeping the laws them, among each other. And that's you basically executing love by executing the laws. So love is a physical thing. That's why people say, "Oh, let us not love in words but in deeds." Love is basically a verb, some action thing, right? By you executing certain things, right? Another precept here on deck. Matthew 7 and verse 12. It says, "Therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them, for this is the law and the prophets here. So just as how you don't want somebody thief from you, just as how you don't want somebody come with basically have sex with your wife, just as how you don't want somebody basically lie to you, right? It's the same difference. You're supposed to look out for your neighbor the same way, and that's love. That's by executing the law, right? It's really simple, right? But it's just the world we grew up in. Esau tells something different. Esau referring to the so-called white race. Them showing the movies that, you're supposed to be mushy feelings and all of that. And if you don't feel the love, you don't read and all that bullshit. No. You see me? It's about doing your duty. Right? Doing that which is right, like for example a woman, you love your man, by basically honoring him, keeping him commandments. You're not gonna basically give away a box, you're not gonna back chat him on him thing there. Right, and remember you were watching the movie, they call the movie there, Coming to America, one, call him up to come out, and the Eddie Murphy mother basically say at first she never really loved him father, but afterwards she grew into it, and that's it, basically the scripture, the Most High created us as beings where once you're there, that's why scripture says sit not at all with anyone woman, because they basically are inclined unto her. Once you're down among the opposite gender, once you're in that space, build together, and rap, then of course feelings are catch. So that come after a while, but we have to do, is first execute the laws. By do that woman now basically come do nothing treacherous. Scripture tells us we're supposed to love a wife, render to her due benevolence. She basically could, have sex with her, and basically you can reject her for should I say defraud her of her food. So you're going to feed her, you're going to provide shelter for her, you're going to provide food for her, clothing, and all of that, because that's basically you executing your duty to your woman, which is love, right? And the last one we have on deck is Leviticus 19 and 17. It says, "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him." So you're supposed to rebuke your neighbor, and that's where the world, get it wrong. Because if a customer, like for example, let's say the woman has some bunch of sluts, whores, and if them don't repent, they must say I kill them. Them have it out say we hate women, and by we basically saying, hey, you women, men are actually above you, you're actually supposed to be subject onto a man. So of course you're weaker, that a man and a man is superior to a woman, right? They must say, oh no, you hate woman because we don't treat woman good and don't believe in it. No, you see me? That is love by we showing you, the correct order, because if you go to hard, you're going to basically dismantle and break everything apart, and that's why you have broken families and all of that right now. But when you have the hierarchy, the hierarchy of things in its proper order, which is the laws that was used to govern us, then you have basically success. That's what Joshua 1 and 8, right? It says verse 18, it says, and sin is what? Sin is the transgression of the law. Verse 18, it said, "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people," which is people, referring to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Latinos. So you're not supposed to be non-personal, you're supposed to genuinely following the laws them that's written in the scriptures. Like like let's say the rape thing occur, not in this time of course, because you have no power, right? So the law to get executed. The man not gonna want a man to take him down to just so you in your feelings. It's about fuck your feelings, Is that's and that's the thing here, what majority of people are misunderstood. Where things say we not feelings to them thing them. Right, by basically saying the law come first. Right? Not like someone have a personal opinion or what them desire or we growing up Babylon too, you see me? But at the end of the day, most words come first to with the feelings. And that's basically true love. When regardless how you feel, regardless how you think, regardless how you don't want things, say this is the correct way and this is how I have to do things, and you basically do it. Execute it. That is sincere, love. Right? Let's see. It says, "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord." So anything we don't want for yourself is basically the same. You're supposed to look out for your fellow Israelite, You see me? Go screw them over. feed them pork, basically destroy them because you yourself don't want to be destroyed, right? And that's basically love according to the scriptures, right? As Yahweh Shai said, if you love me, think kind of John 14. Give me a minute, see if we can find it. Also, maybe just close it. Here it is. John 14 verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. And that's just it, yo. You say, I love the Most High, follow the laws that's written in the scriptures to your best of your ability. And the scriptures say, well, that is the greatest commandment. We're supposed to love the Most High with all our mind, you're serving him. And then see him go for brother. You love your brother, as I love yourself. And that's it. And that's what the kingdom of heaven will be like. Hearing like testimonies of our dreams and visions of the kingdom. That's something I always can recall of persons, be a man and woman and children, we get dream or vision of the kingdom. They always state that we have sincere love for each other. Because right now, when the curse here, man hate them one, that's why man want to fuck another man's wife, man want to murder and brother and them thing there. That's what the Deuteronomy curse the curse in Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 56 or so. They say the man go hate him wife and him daughter and him son, and the man go hate him brother, and the woman go hate her husband and her picnic. All of this hell we are going through right now, it's basically a curse, because we transgress the laws, Daniel 9 verse 11. But once this curse is lifted, and we change these bodies, become perfect, that sincere love will be for each Israelite, every Israelite, right? We're not going to basically look for screw over none, we'll be all righteous, as it's written, people shall be all righteous. So we're not going to worry about breaking the laws, and that's when we all have sincere love for each other by being perfect, so that's the lesson. As I said, as well going forward, me basically start go back into the basics, me apostle them actually mention it, back to the basics, the foundation, the milk, and you saw fuck with my channel then, so this is going to be a new one, so a good way to build it, back to the basics, and this is a basic, foundation, what is love, so hope this lesson was heady fun until look out there. Of course, giving all praises to our power, Yahweh Shem Yoshai Shem Kakodash, double honors and to our elders and apostles, and shalom to the full, like shalom.